Hello, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about cognitive biases, and the biases that I chose specifically is confirmation bias, which is defined as people's tendency to process information by looking for or interpreting information that is consistent with their own beliefs. Now, a lot of times people don't do this on purpose. It is kind of wired in our brains to believe what we believe is true. So a lot of times people don't do it on purpose, but some people do it on purpose. And a lot of times they feel attacked, which makes sense. A lot of times when we are proven wrong, it almost feels like a personal attack. So it kind of lines up with the bias. One of the most common examples of confirmation bias is how we seek or interpret news stories. And I'm sure you probably know this. It happens quite often where people will watch certain news stations that are biased towards their own beliefs, and it's kind of a positive feedback loop on you know, their belief system. People tend to be friends with people that have similar values to them, uh, which also makes sense. You want to talk to people that believe the same things as you, and it's kind of unfortunate when you're friends with people that maybe don't have the same beliefs as you and just bicker sometimes. Which, yeah, it can be harmful to ourselves as well. Um, Say you're into investing and you really believe that this certain company is going to do great, but a lot of information is kind of saying that it won't. So you invest into this company, and it turns out it doesn't do very well. Well, that's your cognitive bias at play, and it kind of made you lose money. So it can be pretty bad sometimes, but it isn't always bad. It can help us stay grounded in our own belief systems and stay firmly in what we believe, which, is kind of double sided. It can also mean it can be really hard to change your mind, but yeah. How can we fight against it? One way is to be aware of signs in our own personal biases. Go into something knowing what you believe and knowing that this belief might be challenged, and just being open minded when you go into something like that. Consider all of the evidence. You don't want to go into something open minded and then accidentally end up cherry picking data that helps you, prove what you wanted to come in to look for. You want to consider all of the evidence put forward and have a truly unbiased perspective on a topic. Seek out different perspectives. Going to the same people with the same viewpoint as you. Obviously, you're gonna find information that you agree with. Try going to perspectives that disagree with you and see their points and actually consider them and what they have to say. And obviously, go into it being willing to change your mind. There's no point in going to try to consider other possibilities in a belief if you're not willing to change your mind and you're just there to sort of argue. So, yeah. Thank you